watch a movie. So that is something that some people enjoy. And right now, it may be something that people are doing a little bit less because we have COVID-19 as a problem, which is stopping people from going to the movie theater right now. Although people can still watch old movies, and sometimes there could be some movies that are released in a different way, like over the internet, and you can still see something new in that way, maybe. But anyway, it is something that some people like to do. And so I'm going to introduce one American actor to you and let you learn a little bit about one person. And then we'll also look at one of his most famous movies, and we'll be trying to describe some pictures again a little bit, but the scenes will be sort of real instead of just being like a cartoon picture like we sort of looked at before. We'll see what sort of looks like a real picture of some people and just try to talk a little bit about what we see there and what is kind of happening in that story. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you again and talk about someone. Of course, you will learn some things, and the other teachers, Teacher Sharon and Teacher Mimi, will be listening carefully, as some of you were before, which is good. So you will hear some details, some special things about the actor and about the story, and you can try to remember those things because, again, later they may ask you some questions and see who can remember what, okay? So try to listen carefully and see what you can learn, okay? All right, so I'm going to share my screen again and let you see what I see on my computer. And now that should be okay. So we're going here and we're going to look at one particular actor today, and his name is Robert Downey Jr. And if we just see that name or just hear that name, maybe we have no idea who this is. But if we look at his picture, his photo here, then maybe someone can say, oh yeah, I have seen this person before, or maybe I have heard something about this person before. So is that right? Do you know his face?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So that is his most famous role. The most famous thing that he has done is to be Iron Man, yes, in many different movies. So he has played that part in many different stories. So yes, you're right, very good. But we probably don't know a lot of details about him personally. Maybe we know some things about what he does in his movies, what he does in the stories. When he is Iron Man, maybe we know something about that. But maybe you don't know very much about the man himself, okay? So again, in the movie, his character's name is Tony Stark. But as a real person in the real world with us, his name is Robert Downey. And his father had the same name. So his father is Robert Downey Sr., and then he has the same name, so he is called Robert Downey Jr. Okay, but his real name is Robert. Okay, so maybe you didn't know that. All right, that is his real name. All right, and maybe another thing we don't know about him is his birthday, for example, right? When is this actor's birthday? Actually, his birthday is very easy to remember because it is the 4th month and the 4th day of that month. So his birthday is on April 4th. Okay? And when was he born? Well, he was born in 1965. So right now, we are in the year 2021. And he was born in 1965. So how old is he now? He is 56 years old right now. Okay? So in his movies, when you see him, sometimes, of course, he may look younger because when he was making the movies, he was younger. It was some time before now. Maybe in the movie, he's only 45 or something. But now he's actually 56. 56 years old. Okay. And another interesting thing about him is he was in his first movie some time ago. And I want you to maybe guess, how old was he when he was in his first movie? What do you think? We know he's 56 now, right? When he was in his first movie, how old was he then? You can guess.
I guess 30.
Okay, 30. Anyone else?
Ming guess 40.
40, okay. What do you think, Sharon?
I guess 36.
Okay, how about Mimi?
有人 guess 25.
Okay, Mimi, what about you?
Me? 20.
Okay. Anyone
And
else?
Xiaoyin guess 22.
Okay.
And Chen Yan guess 46.
Okay. All right, very good. So when people are popular, then of course they can be in more movies. And when people are popular, they are more likely to be a little bit younger, right? Because maybe at that time they will appear to be a little more beautiful or a little more handsome or something. But sometimes you need younger people to be in a movie too, right? So actually, in his first movie, he was only 5 years old.
Really?
Wow. So we guessed a little bit off, okay? Some of you said, oh, maybe 20. Okay, good guess. But actually, 5. He was only 5. Okay, now, usually a very young person like that cannot become an actor, right? Most kids that are 5 years old, they don't get into a movie, right? But something that helps is if you know someone that is in a movie, or you know someone that makes movies, that's in the movie business, that can help you to be able to get a part in that movie. So when he was 5 years old and he was in a movie, he was actually in the movie with his father, Robert Downey Sr. Okay, so his father was in the movie, and then his father was able to bring his little boy, 5 years old, into the movie too. Okay, so that's kind of how he got started with movies. All right, so again, maybe some of you think, yeah, it could be cool if I could be in a movie or something like that. Maybe. But of course, you have to work hard. You have to remember a lot of things. And really, you need to know someone that thinks you are good so they can put you into the movie and give you that part. Okay, well, when he was young, then he got a little bit of a start on being able to do some drama or be in movies like that. But when he was a little bit older, when he was an adult, he actually had kind of a big problem in his life. And I'm not going to tell you right away what it is. I want you to guess. When he was a young man, he had a big problem. What was his problem? You can guess. What do you think?
Health problem?
Okay, could be a health problem. Of course, it's probably not a money problem, because if you're an actor, you can probably make some money, right? Okay, so maybe a health problem. Anyone else? Any other ideas?
Maybe his marriage, his girlfriend.
Okay, it could be a relationship problem like that, right? Okay, well, when he was a young man, he did have a big problem, but his big problem was actually drugs, drugs. Okay, so drugs are something that someone can take. Maybe it will make them feel different, feel special, feel cool, or something like that. But the drugs are actually bad for your body, right? So it is related to your health. It will hurt you, right? You take those things. So this was something that he did, a problem that he got into before when he was younger. And when you have that kind of problem, then how can you fix that problem? Do you know? For example, if you saw that your friend was taking drugs or something like that, what would you do?
Tell the police.
Okay, you can tell the police, yeah.
Tell his family.
Tell the family. Okay, good. It is something that you want to change, right? You want to try to help that person. You don't want that person to have that trouble anymore. And sometimes when you take drugs, maybe the drugs are very strong, and maybe, of course, you're not supposed to be using them at all. And it could be that you get into trouble with the police and so on, and maybe you have to pay some money, and maybe you have to go to jail and different things like that. So for him, he did need to spend some time. The court or the police did order him to spend some time going to a special place where you try to recover from this kind of problem. So he did have to take some time there trying to give up drugs with people that help those with this kind of problem. So he did get better. He did stop using the drugs. And when he stopped and was totally fine, it was the year 2003. So from 2003 until now, the last 18 years, he has not been using drugs. But of course, that is something that he could talk to people about because he has that bad experience. So he could always try to encourage people not to make that same kind of mistake that he did. Okay, now we know that he has been in some movies, and we know his most popular role was to be in the movie Iron Man. Okay, but we may not know some of the others that he has been in, and we may not also know some other details about him. So I want to tell you just a little bit more about Robert here himself too. Okay, someone guessed before that maybe he could have had some relationship problems, and that is true. He has been married 2 times. So of course we would say the best is just to marry 1 time, right? But he has been married twice. Some people actually get married more than that, but he has been married twice, and he has 3 kids, 3 children. And the wife that he has now, her name is Susan. Okay, so you can try to remember some details about Robert here, and maybe later Sharon or Mimi will be asking you some questions. And okay, here are a couple more questions that you can maybe guess at. How tall do you think he is? You have seen him with maybe other actors in a movie. How tall do you think this man is? How tall is Robert?
I guess 170 centimeter.
Okay, 170.
Yes.
Okay, anyone else? How tall do you think he is?
190.
190. Okay, that's much taller. All right, anyone else?
Chen-Xi, can you turn on your microphone and say? Chen-Xi.
Anyone else want to guess? How tall is he?
Okay, Chen-Xi, type 176.
176. Okay.
And Yu type 1.74.
1.74.
Meter,
Yeah.
I think.
I hope we're talking meters there, yeah, and not centimeters. Okay, very good. Okay, well, the last one just now that said 1.74 m is right. He is 174 centimeters tall.
Wow.
Okay, which means he is about average or maybe just a little bit short. All right, the average person in America for a man would be about my height, which would be about 178 centimeters tall. And he's 174. So he would be considered maybe just a little bit on the short side. But maybe you can see that when he is standing with other actors too, that maybe he's a little bit shorter than some other men. Okay. His weight is fairly normal. He weighs 78 kilograms, okay, which is maybe about average for a man. And here is another question for you. How much money do you think he has? He's been making movies, right? So he's got some money. How much money do you think he has?
1 million.
$1 million. Okay. Anyone else?
40 million.
40 million. Of course, we're going to be answering in US dollars. Okay. Anyone else? What do you think?
有人 think it's 5 billion.
5 billion. Wow. Okay.
Five.
That's quite a difference from the 1 million. Okay. All right. The answer is he is worth, or he has 300 million US dollars.
Wow, that's a
Which
lot.
means he has made a lot of money, right? From making his popular movies and so on. Okay. So that means we have a 3 followed by 8 zeros, and that is all in US dollars. Okay. So that's a lot of money that he has. So, of course, that is another reason why people like this kind of job, maybe. Wow, if you get to be a movie star, then many people get to know you, right? You become famous. They see your picture and, oh, yeah, I know who he is. He's Iron Man, like that, right? Even if they don't know your real name, they know your face, right? They know what you have done before. And you will also be making a lot of money, right? Like he has. Okay, so that tells us a little bit more about him personally. And again, you can try to remember these things because Teacher Sharon and Teacher Mimi will be asking you. So try to remember some details. Okay, now he has been in some different movies, and maybe some of his movies we know because they are very popular. Others we may not know as well because they didn't make as much money or because they were some time before, right? You are younger people that we are talking to right now. So if we are looking for a movie that happened sometime before, maybe you were too young then and maybe you didn't hear anything about that movie or something like that. Okay. So maybe you only know the ones that he's done very recently. But again, he is 56 years old. So he has done movies before some time ago, right? So anyway, this is one of those movies. It's called Sherlock Holmes. And maybe many of you don't know that character, but he is supposed to be a very smart, very famous detective or policeman in England. And he is very much like Conan, if you know Conan from the cartoon, where you have this little detective, this little smart boy who tries to find out, you know, who did something bad. Like he's this super smart police officer, sort of. So you try to find out who is doing something bad and you try to find that person and catch that person. All right. So he did a movie like that before about this famous character, Sherlock Holmes. But that was about 12 years ago. So again, maybe you were too young to have seen that. But of course, if you like old movies, and some people do, some movies that happened before, you can always go back and find some movie that was made before, and maybe it was good. So just because it's an older movie, that doesn't mean that, oh, that's not going to be interesting to me. No, maybe it would be if you did see it. Okay, so that was one movie that he made. Of course, the one that you have mentioned here already is Iron Man, where he gets to play Iron Man. Yeah. And when he did that the first time, I think it was maybe 13 years ago. So starting from that time, he got to be Iron Man, and he got to play that part for maybe 11 years. So he got to be that actor many different times in many different movies. And maybe you have seen some of those and you know what he did. But one of his most famous ones was something called the Avengers Infinity War. And in this case, maybe if you have seen that, you will know some of these people that you see here in the poster, in the picture that's here. So it was a very popular movie, one of the most popular movies ever. And there were a couple of these, it was kind of a part 1 and a part 2. And they were very popular and made a lot of money. And it was made only a short time ago, maybe around 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. So I think the first and second one were released in those 2 years. So you probably have seen those. If you like movies, you probably know about that or have seen that. So today I'm going to actually introduce one of those movies to you, this one right here, which is called Avengers 3, sort of commonly. And we'll take a look at some of the pictures or some of what happened in this particular movie. And just again, try to talk about a little bit what we see in the pictures, but now they'll sort of look like real pictures instead of just a drawing. Okay. So this movie is about someone, right? Does anybody know what we're looking at here?
No.
Did you actually see this movie?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. So we may know something about it. All right.
Mhm.
This is one of the main characters in the story. Do we know his name? Very good. That's right. Okay. So his name is Thanos. Thanos. That's right. Okay. And is he a hero or is he a bad guy in this story? Do we know? Do we know?
Zhongming say he's a bad guy.
That's right. Okay. So he is the main bad guy in this story, right? And do we know what he wants?
What he wants.
Or do we remember what he was doing? Or can you tell me what you see in this picture?
Purple man.
Okay, someone says he looks purple. Okay, that's fine. Yes, his skin color does appear that way. That's right. We said that Robert Downey Jr. was 174 centimeters tall. In the movie, this character appears very tall, much taller than that. Okay. But in this movie, this character here is an alien, right? An ET. So he looks different than people here on Earth, right? And he is taller. He is much stronger, right? And he has kind of that purple color. Yes. Why are we kind of looking at his hand here in the picture like this? Do we know?
He has a special glove.
Good. He has a special glove. And that special glove has something special in it that is shiny, right? A special stone. And in this movie, what he's trying to do is to get those stones, right? There are actually 6 of them. And he wants to get all of them because each stone is powerful, will make him strong. And the more he has, the stronger he is. And if he gets all of them, then he can have a lot of power and do whatever he wants. So that's what he's trying to do. All right. So that's Thanos. That's his kind of plan. And in the picture here, we can see that when he starts off, he's already got one of his 6 stones ready that he has already found and taken. All right, and what do we see here? Again, we can see that he's very tall on the left, although he is standing up on some steps. Do we know the other people? We can see. Good. The one on the right, his name is Loki, L-O-K-I, that's right. And who is on the left under Thanos' hand? Do you know who that is?
Thor.
Thor, T-H-O-R, that's right. Okay. So both Thor and Loki are strong characters. Thor has often been a hero, a good character. Loki is kind of a troublesome character. Sometimes he is bad and sometimes he is good. But here they are with Thanos, and Thanos, they think, is very bad. And here Thanos wants to have something. We know he wants to get the stones. So Loki is showing him that, yes, I do have actually a stone here that you want. And maybe we get the idea that Thanos is trying to say that you are going to give that to me, or maybe I will kill you and your brother Thor here. So we can see Loki holding this out to Thanos, like maybe I will give this to you, right? But what do we see here? I see another person on the left. Who is that?
Oh,
Do we know the name?
I forgot it, but I know who it is.
All right, it is another short name, Hulk. Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
Hulk. Okay. So what color is Hulk?
What color?
Do we know? The picture is not the clearest here because it's a little bit dark.
Yeah,
But when
how
you
could?
see him, he will be green in
Yes,
color.
exactly, Zhenxi.
So and some of you said, hey, we like muscles, right? This is your muscle man right here. He's got a lot of muscle. Too many muscles. Okay. So he's very big. He's very strong. A lot of muscles. Green in color. Okay. So he's a strong guy. He's a hero. But it's a little bit hard for him to control himself because when he wants to fight, he kind of goes crazy. And here he is fighting with Thanos. But if you look at this picture, what do you see? He was fighting with Thanos, and then
陈曦
Oh,
type
Zhenxi said he
loss.
lose.
he lost. That's right. Okay. So he had a fight with Thanos, but Thanos was actually too strong. So Thanos will knock him down and knock him out, which means it's like Hulk is asleep. He loses the fight. That's right. So this is actually a very dangerous moment because, again, Thanos can kill everyone because he is too strong. So if he wants to, he can kill Hulk. He can kill Thor. He can kill Loki. It's all very bad. So actually, at this moment, Hulk is sent through a very special tunnel back to Earth to keep him safe. So he goes, but then what do we see here? We can see Loki in the middle and Thanos on the left. On the far right, we have someone who is working with Thanos. And what is Loki doing here? Of course, Loki was trying to say before, okay, you want the special stone and I will give it to you, right? But now what is he doing?
Kill.
He wants to kill Thanos, right? You can see in his hand, his left hand, he is holding a knife. That's right. So he wants to use the knife and very quickly, very secretly attack Thanos, kill him, and let all of this be over, let everyone be safe. But Thanos is too strong and he stops Loki so that Loki cannot actually hit him with the knife. And instead, Thanos will actually kill Loki. So it doesn't work out like Loki wanted. Okay, what do we see here? Do we know who this is? Maybe, yeah, I've seen his face before.
Yeah.
Do we know anything else? Do
He
we know
has too many characters.
people are too many heroes here together in this movie, right? So it's not just one and then you follow him everywhere. Usually it's like that. But in this case, you put many of them together and see what they do together. Because they have a big problem to deal with. And that is why this guy's here. He's actually looking for some help. But do we know who he is? Do we have a name?
The student said it's Strange Doctor.
Yes. We actually use the title first. So he's actually Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. And his name is actually Stephen Strange as a character in the story. So Strange is his real name in the story. So he is Doctor Strange, and he really is a doctor. He really is trying to help sick people, but he ends up being able to do something special, right? What do we see behind him? Do we know? He ends up being very good at magic, and he can make some special doorways. So that's why we see that circle behind him. It's like he can walk from one country into another country. He can make a door that will let him go like anywhere. And then he can go from one place to another place. So that's really cool to be able to do that. Okay, so he can do that and then very quickly go somewhere and look for other heroes and ask them for some help, get them together. And try to stop a big problem that he knows about, because now he knows about Thanos. And here we can see he is explaining to some other heroes about, well, we don't actually see him in this picture, but he is explaining about the stones. That's right. That there are many stones. They're very strong. We need to get these stones, keep them safe. Don't let the bad guy have the stones, or he will become very strong and kill us all, that kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, so what do we have here? On the far left, we have someone who helps Doctor Strange. All right, so we have Doctor Strange then. And on the far right, who is that? That's the actor we've been talking about, right? Robert Downey Jr., okay? And he's playing Tony Stark, or Iron Man here, okay? And then between Doctor Strange and Iron Man, who is that? Hey, I don't know him because he's not big and green, right? Our big green Hulk is very strong, but when he changes back to look like a more regular person, that is what he looks like. Okay, so our big green Hulk can become angry, become huge and very strong, but he can also go back to looking like a regular person. So that is actually Hulk there in the middle. And who is this?
A Spider-Man.
It's a Spider-Man. Very good, that's right.
Oh, the only man I know.
Oh, we know this one. Okay, very good. Okay, so this is Spider-Man. And of course, Spider-Man is kind of special in this show because he's actually young, right? So some of the other characters are a little bit older, but he is quite young. In the story, he is acting as though he is only maybe 15 years old. In real life, he's a few years older than that, but he does look pretty young, right? And where is he now in the picture? Do you know? There's something yellow there. We see some windows. Do you know what that is?
School bus.
That's right. He's in a school bus. In the USA, a school bus is usually... So he's in a school bus, yes. So he's on his way to school, or he is on a school trip right now. So he's in the bus and he can see a problem. And because he is Spider-Man, then he can do something to try and help with that problem, right? Okay. All right. So we have started taking a look at the story, and we have learned some special details about the actor, Robert Downey Jr. But right now we need to take one more break. So we're going to be taking a break from 11 to 11:10. And when we come back, then we're going to kind of finish looking at some pictures, telling us a little more about the story. And we're going to have Teacher Sharon and Teacher Mimi quiz us with some review questions. So we want to see if we can remember what we learned and see if we can answer those questions. Okay? But right now, we're going to take a break for about 10 minutes. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So I'll see you again at 11:10. Okay, it is 11:10. So we want to continue and finish taking a look at what's happening in this particular story and talk about the pictures that we see there. And then we're going to get to some interesting review questions from Teacher Sharon and Teacher Mimi when we get to about 11:40. Okay? All right, so let's finish taking a look at what we saw there before. So let me show you again what I'm seeing. We remember that the last thing that we saw was a picture of Spider-Man. So Spider-Man was on a school bus and he was noticing a problem. And what kind of problem did he see? Well, this. So what do we see here? Can you tell me anything? Okay, it looks like there was a big fight here. Okay. We see a couple of strangers, aliens, ETs here, right? They don't look like us. And we can see that they have destroyed or broken a lot of things, right? You can see the cars there on the street. You can see the fire there in the back, right? So things are not looking good. And yes, it is because they are here and people need to run away because it is dangerous. And they come here because actually they want to take Doctor Strange because they know that Doctor Strange has one of those stones that Thanos is looking for. So they want to catch him and take the stone from him and give it to Thanos. So Thanos will be stronger. But Spider-Man, who appears and looks like this, will try to stop that from happening, right? He will try to save Doctor Strange if he can, try to keep him here, but he has a very hard time doing that. So what do you see in this picture? Where is Spider-Man now?
Space.
In space, that's right. So these aliens, these ETs working with Thanos, they came here from space, right? They have a spaceship and they take Doctor Strange onto that spaceship so they can get the stone from him. But Spider-Man is trying to help him and goes to that spaceship and you can see him up very high, right? Because down below under Spider-Man, what is that?
Earth.
That's Earth, right? Earth is there, yes. So, wow, he's very high up. This is a little bit scary for him. He has never gone into space before, but he is going there now. Thankfully, his suit, what he wears, is very good because it is from Iron Man. So it helps him so that he can still be okay up here, even though he is very high and does not have a lot of air, for example, that he could breathe here. Because he's wearing the suit, he's kind of like an astronaut or something, and then he has something he can breathe and he is okay. Okay, this is another picture of space, right? And if we really could go into space, we might see some beautiful colors for different things, maybe for planets or maybe for gas or something like that that is out in space. But what do we see here?
Spaceship.
This is another spaceship, right? Yes. And we have a spaceship that is coming because some people here that another spaceship had trouble, needed help. So they are coming to help. And who needed help? Who is this? We saw him before, right? Who is that?
Thor.
Thor, that's right. So Thor needed help before. His ship was on fire, broken, destroyed by Thanos, and he needed some help. And he called for help, and now some people have come to help him. And because he is very strong, he did not die. And they are here to help him, so they're looking at him. And of course, they want him to wake up. They want to talk to him, right? And know what is going on. So here you get a look at all of these special people that are on this ship that are talking with him. They call themselves guardians, people that help others. and they want to know what happened. Of course, he can tell them about Thanos, that Thanos is the big problem. And here he is talking with Peter. Peter is the man on the left, and Peter is the leader of this group. But Peter feels that maybe he should act a little bit more like Thor, because Thor seems very strong, he seems very smart, and I should try to act like you and sound like you. But that is not something that Thor likes here. He says, are you trying to copy me? Are you trying to make fun of me like that? So they have a little bit of trouble as they talk together. Okay, now we get to see maybe two more people that are in this story. Do we know who this is? Okay, maybe not. What do you see in the picture?
A man.
I see a man. Very good. There is a woman on the left, although she is a little bit hard to see because we're focused on the man in this picture. What do you see on the man's face? On his forehead, what do you see? There is some light there, right? It is another stone. One of the stones that Thanos is looking for is actually in this man. And that is because he is really like a robot, but he can look like a man as he does here. But he actually has that stone as part of him. And here he is with this woman. The woman's name is Wanda, Wanda, and the man is called Vision, Vision. And here, this is a really good picture or moment from this movie, because what do we see? What can we say about this woman? How does she look? How does she feel? Do you know? Sharon.
Is she gonna cry?
Okay.
There's some
Possible.
tears in her eye.
Maybe. But no, she's not going to cry. Mimi, what do you think?
I think she loves him.
Okay. Very good. All right.
陈Yin
So-
said it looks like sad. It looks
Okay.
sad.
Okay. It's a little bit hard to tell. All right. But actually, she is very happy. She is very happy because Vision is very good to her. So this actually shows us one of the important, or maybe the most important lesson in life, what you can learn in the real world as you are with other people, which is if you can make another person happy, it is a really great thing to do. And that is what Vision here has done. He is like a robot, but he has learned how to make someone happy. And so that's a really great thing. He's become really smart to be able to do that. And if you do that in your life, you may find that you really enjoy making other people happy, and they will enjoy whatever you are doing too, right? So this is a really good thing to be able to do that. And yes, in fact, the two of them do actually love each other. So if you said that, then you are right. Okay, but actually, this is Vision again here on the right, and this is what he looks like when he is more of the robot version of himself, when he looks like a robot. And of course, we have an alien or ET coming here because they want to take the stone that he has and give it to Thanos. So there must be more fighting. So we have two of these very strong ETs coming down here to fight. And actually the woman that we see in the middle is Wanda, and she is strong too. And she will try to save Vision, try to protect him from these guys, because they do make a surprise attack and hurt the robot. And then she will try to keep him safe, which is not easy. Okay, here we have Peter again. And what is Peter doing? What does Peter have?
Juice.
You know, Peter is holding a gun in his hand, actually. It looks a little bit different to us, but this is his gun. And what is he doing here?
He's trying to fight the bad guy.
Yeah, he found Thanos, okay, and he wants to kill Thanos, yes.
Yeah.
And Thanos is here. Thanos is strong. We can see he has some of the stones already there in some special glove that he is wearing on his left hand. What do we see behind Thanos? We see a big fire, right?
Yes.
So we can see what happens when Thanos goes somewhere. He will destroy everything, take whatever he wants, right? Trying to make himself stronger. And so, in a way, he is kind of very focused on himself and what he wants to do. And here he has caught Peter's girlfriend, which is actually his daughter. He has sort of adopted her as his daughter in the past. And they are here to sort of fight each other, but Thanos is actually too strong and Peter can't stop him. Does anyone know who this is? Any idea?
I don't know, but we seem to have the same hairstyle.
Okay. Very good. So here we have a guy, it's a man with longer hair, yes. And maybe it is hard to see in the picture, but he actually does not have a left arm. He's actually missing his left arm. So it is something that he lost in battle before, when fighting before. But he is a hero, and he is going to help in the fight against Thanos. And he will do that with this man. Who is he? Do we know him? Anyone know this person? No?
Oh my god, his name.
Okay, we do know his Chinese name, right? So in English, he is called Black Panther. Okay, so he is also a hero, and the two of them will fight together against Thanos. So they are getting ready to do that. Okay, we saw that Doctor Strange was taken before because he has one of the stones, and this guy named Ma wants to take it from him because he wants to give it to Thanos. But at the same time, he does not realize that there are some people here to stop him. We have two people here. Who are they?
Iron Man.
Iron Man and
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. That's right. They are here to try and save Doctor Strange, try to save the stone. And so they have to think of their plan. What are we going to do? And actually, they have an idea. And we can even see Doctor Strange's magic cape is here as well. They decide we will make a hole in the ship, and that will pull things out of the ship. We'll let the bad man fall out of the ship and try to stay on the ship. And it does work. So he is thrown out of the ship or pulled out of the ship, and he is dead. And then the rest of them are okay. Now here we can see the girlfriend of Peter again. Her name is Gamora, Gamora. And how does she look?
Sad.
Very sad. And why is she feeling sad? Well, this is her sister. Her sister's name is Nebula, Nebula. And what is happening to her sister? Her sister is being hurt by Thanos. Why? Because he wants Gamora to talk about where another stone is, because she does know. So he will hurt the sister to make her talk, make her give him the answer, because Gamora cares about her sister. Peter finds Iron Man, and they get to make a plan together about what they are going to do, how they are going to try to fight against Thanos. And in the back, behind them, you can see Doctor Strange.
Yes.
All right? Thanos himself gets to meet with this guy called Red Skull, and he tells him how he can get another stone. So he actually has to do that by killing someone that he cares about. So he kills Gamora, Peter's girlfriend, and takes another stone. We know this guy. At this time, he has hair on his face. He has a beard, right? Before, he didn't look like that. But who is he?
Captain America.
Captain America. That's right. Very good. Okay. And in the show, his name is Steve. And here he is getting people together to fight against Thanos because Thanos is coming. He wants to get Vision because maybe Vision has one of the last stones that he still needs. So we have a big fire here. We have a big fight here as Thanos's men or army is trying to break through and get to Vision and take that robot's stone. And who is this? It's a little bit hard to see, right? Do we know? Okay, we're not sure. This is Thor. And how does he feel here?
Not good.
Not good. You can see his face. He's feeling hurt. He's feeling some pain. What is he doing? Well, he knows that he needs to fight Thanos again. The first time he lost. So he wants to try again. He needs to have a very strong sword or weapon or something to help him fight Thanos. So he's trying to make one. But as he is doing that, the light from a sun is blasting at him as he is trying to make his weapon very hot and ready to use. And that heat is hitting him here. So it is very painful. It hurts him a lot. But he wants to get that ready so that he can fight with Thanos. This is what he's trying to make right here. He's trying to make a special axe that will be very strong that he can use to fight with. Okay, what do we see here?
It's Thanos.
We have Thanos and
Iron Man.
Iron Man is on the left. Very good. So here we can see Thanos is being attacked from several different ways, right? From the left, from the right, from the front, right? So this means the heroes are trying to work together to attack him together and try to stop him. And they know that you already have some stones. If we can take those stones away from you, you will become weaker. And we can keep people safe and we can stop you. And they're working together to try and stop him. In the very front, we can see there's something there that looks like a spider web. So that is Spider-Man attacking him from the front. But Thanos is still very strong because he has so many stones. This is one of the stones that he doesn't have yet, one of the last two. He wants to get here and get this stone away from the robot, Vision. But they are trying to take the stone off of Vision so that it can be put somewhere else and Vision himself will be safe. So they're trying to see if they can carefully, safely take it off. All right, what do we see here? Who are these two?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange and
Thanos.
And Thanos on the left, right? What is Thanos doing?
Killing him.
Maybe he's killing him. Okay, very good. He has his hand around Doctor Strange's throat, his neck, right? So it means I am stronger than you. I catch you, right? I can kill you, something like that. Okay. So here, Doctor Strange is in a lot of trouble and he needs to do something, right? And he actually knows if we are going to win, I may have to let you take the stone that I have. So he has a green stone, which will let Thanos control time, and he actually gives it to Thanos. So that means there's only one stone left that Thanos does not have. So here they are out of time because they don't have enough time to remove or take the stone out of the robot. So what is happening here? They know Thanos is coming. This is the last stone. What do we do? Vision himself, the robot on the left, he says, you must destroy. You must break this stone so that Thanos cannot get it and cannot use it. And he says Wanda is strong enough that she can break the stone. So he's asking her to break the stone. But if she breaks the stone and the stone was not safely taken away from Vision, it means she will kill Vision. Does she want to kill the robot? No. From the picture we saw before, we know that Wanda loves Vision. So she does not want to do that. She does not want to hurt him. She does not want to agree. But he says, it's not right. It's not fair that you are the one to do this, but you must, because you are the only one that's strong enough to do it. I want you to kill me to keep everyone safe. Look at her face. How does she feel?
She feels sad.
Very sad, right?
Yeah.
This is the one thing she does not want to see. I don't want to see the person that I love die, right? And more than that, it's even worse because I have to do it. I have to do it to you, right? And of course, they're doing it because they want everyone to be safe. They know if Thanos gets all 6 stones, he will kill many people in the world. There will be billions of people that will die if he takes all 6 stones. So they're trying to let one person die instead of billions. So it's very bad. She doesn't want to do it, but she understands that she should do it. But it's a very hard thing to do. So sometimes there may be something that is hard in your life, hard for you to do, but maybe not this hard. Okay, what do we have here as we are coming to the very end of the story? We know that's Thanos on the right. Do we know who's on the left? I see some brown hair. I see someone using 2 hands to hold back this strong glove of Thanos. Do we know who that is? We can't see his face well enough, right? It's Captain America. And Thanos himself seems a little bit surprised or amazed that Captain America is strong enough to try and hold him back like this. But the problem is Captain America needs 2 hands to hold back this one hand of Thanos, which means Thanos still has his right hand free. So I'm using my left hand. You need 2 hands to stop me, but I still have one hand that's free that I can use, so he can still use it to punch Captain America, to hit him and beat him. Which means now we're down to this. What do we see here? We have Wanda in the middle. On the left, we have Vision. She's trying to break Vision's stone, and she knows that will kill him. At the same time, she's also trying to shoot Thanos, who is trying to get closer and stop her and take the stone. So she's trying to stop Thanos and trying to break the stone at the same time. And it does work. She does break the stone. But because Thanos has a special stone about time, he can actually go to a different time. So that means he could go like into the past, or he could go into the future. So he goes back in time a minute or so that the stone is still okay and he can take the stone from Vision. So he actually gets all 6 stones. And when he does that, then he feels very strong. There's a lot of power there. I have all 6 stones. I can do what I want. So what does he want? He wants to kill half of the people in the world. Let half of them die. So that's a lot of people that he's going to kill. More than 3 billion people. But then he sees there's one more person coming to fight me. Do we know who that is? So he's going to use some power, try to stop that person. Who is it? Who is that? Who is standing on the left?
Thor.
Thor.
Is it?
That's right. It is. It is Thor.
Oh.
So Thor comes, and he comes with his big axe that he made, and he throws it at Thanos, and he actually hits Thanos with it. So he hurts Thanos. And we see Thanos is very tall because he's actually kneeling down right now, right? So if he were standing up, he'd be really tall. Okay. So anyway, he does hit Thanos with the axe, and Thor is feeling pretty good because I did hit you, but it's actually not enough. Thanos is able to escape from Thor, and then he can still use his power and do what he wants. So what does he do? He kills half of the people, just like he wanted to. So that means he makes the people just kind of disappear, die, become dust. So here we see one hero disappearing. His name is Falcon. It's Goodbye Falcon. Here we have two people. On the right, we have Iron Man. Who is on the left?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, that's right. And Spider-Man knows that he is about to die because he feels sick. He feels what is happening. And what does he do? He is hugging Iron Man, right? He's hugging the actor, Robert, the character Tony here, because the two of them were kind of close. Tony Stark, Iron Man, was kind of like a father to Spider-Man and taking care of him. But then Spider-Man also dies here like this. So it's a really bad moment for Iron Man because he sees this happen. He sees that he lost. He was not able to stop Thanos. So Thanos is the winner at the end of the story. So this is a little bit different from most movies because usually people will see a happy ending. They will see that, okay, there's this very big fight. It's very hard, but the good people will win in the end, right? But at the end of this story, no, it's not like that. At the end of this story, it's the bad guy who wins. I beat them. I stopped them. I did what I wanted. Yeah, I'm feeling good now. And that's the way he is here at the very end of the story. But actually, the very last thing that you see if you watch this movie is that someone is trying to call for more help. So even though Thanos wins here, there is actually more help on the way. And somehow they will still try to stop him. They will still try to change the situation, try to fix things, try to let the good people win somehow. So in the next movie, then they will be working on that. But these movies were very popular and did make a lot of money. And of course, many people maybe liked to see many heroes together and to see a very big fight between some good heroes and some bad guys too. Okay, so that shows us what this movie was like. And of course, we looked at a lot of details about what Robert Downey Jr.'s life is like as well. So right now, we're going to go back to Teacher Sharon and Teacher Mimi, and they're going to help us with some review and with some questions, okay?
Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay, there are almost 15 questions. Okay, let's go. Okay, the first question is, who am I? There are several choices you can choose. You can type your answer, or even you can just turn on your microphone and talk. Which one is the right answer? Is Super Jr. or Robert Downey Jr. or Robert Downey Jr.?
Can you turn on? See?
Yeah, very good. Okay, let me cheat on it. Yes, he is Robert Downey Jr., a very famous movie star. Okay, the next one. Okay, thank you for your answer, Ms. Pachin. Next one. When is my birthday? Is a little bit difficult. If you listen to the class carefully, maybe you will know. Wow, you guys are so amazing. Yes, that's right. But what about the years? When?
The years?
Did
When
anyone
is
remember?
Can you say that again?
It's It's 1956 or 1965. Am I remember wrong? I think it's 65. Jason, which one is correct?
That's right. He is 56 years old, which some of them are trying to say, but that means he was born in 1965.
Oh, I know. Okay, thank you. He's born in 1965 and is 56 years old
Oh,
this year. Okay, thank you. What about the next one? How tall am I? How tall is Tony?
174.
Wow, I heard the
English.
exact answer. Yes, he's 174 centimeters tall. Okay, good job. Let's see another one. How many kids do I have? How many kids?
Prototype
Okay,
3.
here, yeah,
Love
you are the
it.
first
Very
one. Very good.
Great.
Exactly. He has 3 kids. That's right. Okay, thank you.
Thank
The next
you.
one.
One.
How rich am I? You need to look carefully. How many zeros?
How many zeros? Okay, how many zeros?
8.
Yes, 8.
8.
Okay, I see a different answer. Is C or B? Which one is correct? Okay, the answer should be C.
C.
300 million.
Million.
Dollars.
Yes.
He's quite a rich man. I'm so jealous of him. Okay, next one. Oh, who is he? Who is he? He's Thanos, right? And there are 3 pictures. They're all stones. Which stones do I want? Which stones? I think
type one.
I think the last one. Okay, just kidding. It's the first one. Yes, the number 1. He has 6 stones. Okay, another question is a little bit difficult. There are 6 stones, right? But what color are the stones? Do you
Green.
guys remember?
Yellow.
Yes, green, yellow.
Mhm.
Yellow, red.
Green and yellow. What else?
Red.
Red. Yes, red. And what else?
Uh,
Green, red, yellow, and orange. That's right. We have 4. Green. Yes. What about the last one? Yes, we got green, yellow, orange.
blue.
Yes, blue and purple. Very good.
Yay.
Okay, thank you. And you need to think about it. How old were they when they were in their first movie? Okay, let's go to the first one. How old were
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
The type
Spider-Man.
5. So
Five or
type
15?
15.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man is 15 years old, and Iron Man, yeah,
Iron Man.
is 5 years old exactly. It's really surprised me because it's
5
really
years
young. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Next question. Who am I? Who am I? Number 8, Black Bear. Number 2, Black Panther. Number C, Black
Okay,
Pancake.
Zomin, thank you, Zomin.
I think
Okay.
it's pancake because I'm really hungry now.
Purple.
Okay, which one is it?
The
Yes,
type
I
B.
see the right answer. Correct. It's Black Panther. Black Panther. Okay, thank you for your answer. Okay, this one is a little bit trigger. Who is not in the movie Avengers? Who is not? We
Who?
talked a lot of characters in the class before. Who is not in the Avengers?
Zomin type
Hulk.
2.
Hulk or Batman, Doctor Strange, and Thor.
有人 type 蝙蝠侠。
That's right. It's number 2, Batman. Batman is not in Avengers, but I think he's in it until today. Okay, let's see the next one. Hey, I'm Captain American. Which one is my show? Which one?
I think 2.
One.
1. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Why is not
is it
3?
number 3? There's a very cute
3
sword on it.
is 2. 3 has energy.
Yes. Okay. Number 2 is beautiful too. But yeah, the video. The correct answer is number 1. Yeah, thank you. Let's see. Okay, who am I? Number 8, Wanda. Number 2, Wandan. Number 3, Wan.
I think Wen. Wen is cute. Beautiful name. Wen.
One. One.
Okay, A or B, Wanda or Wandan. Wandan is. Oh, it's really, I'm really.
Wandan, right? Wandan.
You should be familiar with Wandan. Okay, the answer should be
A.
Wanda.
That's
Wanda is
right.
your school. Wanda is your school. She's your school leader? I don't think so. Okay, the next one. And who asked Wanda to break the stone? Who?
Her
Who
mother.
asked
Her
Wanda to
mother,
break
right?
the stone? His mother? His mother?
Mm.
Who?
Pearl type vision. Don't mean
Oh,
also type
thank you.
vision.
Vision.
I think you're the big fan of Avengers. Yes, exactly. It's Vision. Vision talk Wanda. You must destroy the stone. Okay, thank you. And it's the last question. But
Ooh.
in the movie at the end, who wins at the end? Is
gets the
Spider-Man or the Captain American, even the Hulk or Thanos? Who wins the game at the end?
Don't mean answer Thanos.
Thanos.
Yeah, it's Thanos, but I have no time to type the answer on it. It's Thanos. And the bad guy wins the game at the end. Okay, thank you for your attention. You are so good in class. And I think some of the guys are the big fan of the movie. Okay, thank you.
Very good. So there will be another day when we will look at another topic, which will be travel to the USA. So when we get to that day and we get to that topic, then we'll be looking at some things from the USA, and we'll also be trying to focus on some different pictures and trying to talk about what we can see in these different pictures. So you can see that one of the things that we really want to work on is your ability to speak, your ability to say something about what you see. So you can use the words that you know. If you are not sure how to make a sentence about something, you can just try. If you get something wrong, it's okay. We can tell you how to say it the right way. And if you're not sure of like many words or how to make a sentence, you can just use a few words and try that. But if you can do some actual talking. I mean, maybe if you're not sure how to say it, you could type it and we can see that you know the answer. But it's even better if you can actually speak and tell us your answer. Okay? So we're trying to focus more on being able to listen and understand. And I think we have done fairly well with that today, because the teachers were able to ask you some questions and you were able to answer those questions. So that's good. But we would like to hear more responses from you, which are actually you speaking to us. Okay. So we do have some students that are doing that, which is good. But again, the more that you can talk with us, the better you will get, the better you will be. And this is the hard part for you to work on, because usually when you have your English classes, maybe you get to do a lot of reading and a lot of writing. And so maybe that part is a little bit easier for you to understand or to do. Sometimes when you have an English class, your teacher may not speak very much English. Maybe the teacher will read a sentence for you and maybe you can hear what it sounds like, but then maybe the teacher will do a lot of explaining in Chinese about what the words are here and what the teacher wants you to know. And sometimes you don't hear as much as maybe you could with a different way of teaching maybe. And maybe what you need most is a chance for you to actually talk, to speak. So here in this kind of class, you have that chance. You get to listen to more English, and hopefully you get to speak more English too. Okay, so don't be shy. Remember, this is your chance to get better. Okay, a good chance for you to talk and do better. So you can see that everyone, or at least some of us here, are doing that and are trying that, right? And if you do see a sentence that's not perfect, or you do say a sentence that's not perfect, that's okay. You see, nobody was angry. Nobody was telling you, oh, look at that, that's wrong. Look at you, you're so bad. No one does that, right? So you don't have to worry about that, okay? Just try to do your best and try to get better. So we will have class again on another day, and we'll be looking at another topic, but we'll be doing kind of the same thing. We'll be very focused on pictures and trying to talk about what we see in those pictures, okay? But we are out of time for today. It's lunchtime now, so we're going to stop here. And yes, someone is saying I'm speaking English every day, so that's great. And I hope you will continue and that everyone will do that. All right, so we'll stop here for today, and I will see you again for class on another day, okay? So
Yeah.
good job, and thank you, and see you next time, okay? All right,
Bye.
bye.
下午见哦，下午1:20哦。
1:20哦，下午
1:20，宝贝，我们要下午来玩游戏哈，记得来。
Okay, thank you.
Goodbye, bye, 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 bye.
Enjoy your lunch. 好的，你们可以退出会议了。是的，
下午还有1:20。
Yes. If it is convenient， 如果你愿意的话，那我当然是非常非常欢迎，会让我觉得我可以跟你们处在同一个空间。是我非常希望你们可以进到，希望我可以看看你们可爱的脸。OK， 好的。